Hey troops, it's Roy from Geeks Adventures. Woohoo! Broadcasting from the Green Couch in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. So, the DC McFarlane figures are making their way out pretty quickly. Usually these things you get an announcement that it's coming out, in March. March means, oh, they leave shipping in China in March, get to the Philippines, and we're all first, maybe get to East and West Coast, April. No, McFarlane was not playing these things. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and the first wave of the DC figures are here. I saw them at Target. Unfortunately, since they're the first wave, they're also flying off the shelves really fast. But you can find them. It is, at least, unfortunately, I did not see the two armored Batman and Superman figures, and unfortunately, the Batman Who Laughs figures. I found other ways to get them. So soon. But in light of those coming out and spreading out all over the place, thought I'd do a little retro review of an older Batman series. In this case, a retro review of the Legends of the Dark Knight line. This is from back in the day, in 1997. So yeah, back in the day when you don't need no stinking articulation. It's a build-a figure. Who's gonna buy 18 action figures to make one giant honking one? Back then, hey, articulation was a big deal. Woo! Well, sort of, kind of. All this in response to ironically enough, McFarlane's Spawn line, when every other toy manufacturer went, oh, so people aren't just gonna buy crappy pieces of plastic. No, you make them cool. We'll buy more of them. So, of course, at this point, Kenner had the Batman line running wild, yada, 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 yada. So, hey, let's take a dead horse and beat it further, and created the Legends of the Dark Knight line. The premise behind it, Batman is in a coma, I guess. Wakens in Gotham, and of course, everything goes wrong. Blah, 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 blah. As if the supervillains normally aren't a little wacko in the first place. They're even wackier now. So in response, Batman creates a series of suits with special purpose armor. Yada, 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 yada. You get the idea. So, yeah, some of the worst aspects of action figures all coming to the forefront. Hey, let's just slap junk on an action figure and put it out there. Let's make 20 million versions of one character and a couple of these other ones, etc., etc., etc. So you're wondering, what the heck are you talking about these figures then? Because they actually were kind of cool. The good news is, in response to McFarlane's release, these figures were no longer, these tiny little things. They went up to McFarlane's scale. And the sculpting is actually pretty dang good. Case in point, since it's Batman, you got to have the Rogues Gallery. A ton of villains. Bane, Clayface. I brought out here Scarecrow. See how big this thing is? It has a giant scythe. Now, I wasn't kidding about articulation, all right? And actually, even this one gets a little quirkier. It has a spinning attack action, so unfortunately, this figure just does that, so it can spin. See? Get it? It's got a scythe, and it can spit. I wasn't kidding about the worst aspects of action figures, all right? The good news, though, as you can see, and you're looking going, that looks pretty cool. This ain't your grandpa's Scarecrow figure. Sculpting's gorgeous. It's a huge figure. Amongst the other villains, you've got, okay, what did they call this one here? Panther Prowl Catwoman. It's this powered exoskeleton that also turns into a robot. And of course, she's got the whip. Again, it's basic articulation: head, shoulders, and hips. But again, look at this thing. It's really cool. I mean, the accessory, whatever. But at least it's well made. And of course, you got to have a Joker figure. So now, for whatever reason, he's got this goblin thing. I don't know. It is called Laughing Gas Joker. Of course, got a big gun, and actually, the interesting feature, I kind of like it, but hey, is that you see he looks all kind of bulky. That's because this is actually like an exoskeleton. You press a button back here, the front pops off, and he looks like that. And see, Laughing Gas. Get it? But again, it looks pretty dang cool. Now you're wondering, oh Lord, how many Batman figures and whatnot did they make? Well, got Robin. Jungle Rage Robin. But again, I mean, it looks cool. I mean, look at the armor and all this whatnot. And it's all sculpted, all this extra detail. Cloth cape. He also came with 2 weapons, which I forgot to bring down. I just realized, oops. 2 oversized weapons, so more stuff. There was also a Batgirl figure. There was also, of course, a multitude of Batman figures. This one is Lava Fury Batman. Giant. I mean, he's got this face guard comes off, and this solar heat powered thing, and a giant cannon and stuff. But again, look at the sculpting and everything. It looks really cool. It's just really absurd, but it's well done. Hey! Now you're thinking, they at least made a regular Batman figure, right? Yes, they did. Which is honestly my favorite Batman figure, period. Dark Knight Detective Batman. Yeah, it's huge. The giant cape, the whole figure is reminiscent of the work that Kelly Jones did in the 3 Batman vampire stories. Exaggerated, giant, crazy exaggerated cape, giant ears. He also came with a giant batarangi thing. Yes, I forgot it upstairs. Sorry. I mean, as you can see, it's a beautiful piece of work. One thing I always loved about the, in particular, the post-Batman animated series take on Batman, that funky little people in general wonder, he's human, right? That weird sense of what is Batman? Who is he? Is he human? I mean, is he a robot? What is he? Is he something else? To the point where I think I always liked the Wally West and Kyle Rayner take on Green Lantern and Flash, just because even Wally's like, well, Barry and Hal always said he was human, but I get scared. And that's a vibe I like about this Batman figure, is that because of the giant exaggerated cape, you get this kind of almost supernatural tone to it, but you still have, I mean, if you look at the belt, you still have that high-tech feel. And I kind of like the way in Batman Begins, that weird sense of, the cowardly, superstitious lot of criminals kind of takes life a little bit. So, you got the cool, techie-looking belt, the suit, the actual suit is kind of almost got a metallic sheen to it. Now you're wondering, how the heck did they fit this thing in a clamshell box? Well, the tops came off. See? Come on, there we go. See, the 2 top sections came off, so this fit in, into the clamshell box, and the 2 extra rings were, just shoved in the back. I imagine now if this were a Mafex figure or something by Hot Toys, either they would make multiple capes or they'd find a more elegant way of getting this to fit, or something or other. But I don't know. The way I look at it is, it's kind of like in Batman Begins, when his cape can expand so he can glide. This is glide mode, and then he can take it off and go, this is regular cape mode. Now you're wondering, okay, those look kind of cool. How hard are they to find? Now the good news is all the other stuff, including the plethora of other Batman figures, you can find them on the secondary market for a reasonable price. It's not that hard. This is another story entirely. There are 2 versions of it. There's this black version, and apparently there is, this is called the Dark Knight Detective Batman. There is another version that is in the classic 80s blue-gray suit with the yellow spotlight chest symbol. Both of these versions, not unusual to see is going for $40 mint on card. So unfortunately, this one is a challenge to find. Actually, way back when I was getting this, I actually had to go through eBay. This is back when eBay was still just you're going to buy stuff. You're going to send money to someone so they can mail you something? You don't know this person? This was the only way to find this thing. All right. So even in 97, but so there you go. This was a fun line. Okay, yes, I'm laughing about it and kind of picking on it. At the time, it was revolutionary. You're looking at figures that they really did put work into making something that was really kind of cool. Yes, articulation is limited, so you kind of get a little statue-y feel to it. And the diverse number of types of Batman figures. There's also Spline Cape Batman, Neural Claw, blah, blah, blah Batman. It was crazy, the alternative versions. Assault Gauntlets Batman had like these giant missiles shooting out from his arms. It was ridiculous. But, that wasn't even now in some ways it's still being done. But the diverse number of villain figures was a really nice touch. And like I said, they're well done. Even for now, the articulation is archaic. But still, the sculpting is really cool, and actually the accessories, at least they came with stuff. So, hey. So there you go. Something fun to keep your eyes open at your next toy show, or at your local toy shop. Maybe they've got maybe they sold a giant lot of bought a giant lot of figures from a collector, or keep your eyes out online. So there you go. Hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend. May the odds be in your favor. May the force be with you. Especially when you're trying to find this one. And as always, be good to each other. Okay, peeps? Y'all take care. Bye.